Is this thing working, Ed? Yeah? All right, our first interview here is going to be with Billy DeLizio, who's here rigging eels. You can see some of his nice plugs here too, one of which I dropped for you, a little demonstration. That one was kind of a deep diver. It's supposed to stick on the surface though, but it made it all the way down to the floor. Beautiful craftsmanship here. Deeper diving pikeys.
Well, today, very good, we got it. So today we're going to be doing eel bob. It's an old fishing technique that was probably started way back before the war, where they used lead for the head, and they call it an eel bob. So about a few years back, Dennis and Brada asked me in regards to making a shallower type of eel bob so you can use it in structure. So he showed me a piece of wood shaped that would fit the eel after the spine was taken out. So I came up with this design. It's actually a little miniature looking plug. It has a little tail weight in it, and it accepts a hook, and I use a large 4-0. You can use 3 or 4-0. So it doesn't sink as fast as the lead. So you can fish it in boulder fields where all the fish usually lay around. So today I got a couple ugly specimens here. Usually a nice fresh eel is easier to take the spine out. Yeah, but unfortunately in January it's tough to find a fresh eel. So we're going to attempt to take the spine out using simple piece of straight tubing, brake line 1/4 inch with a slight flare cut to a point, and we knock out the piece of spine with a exquisite tool called a coat hanger. And we'll just slide it right out. You have to cut it back at the angle because you don't want to deal with the belly. So, because all you're going to use is this part, so, and there's the spine. So we're going to just try to keep encapsulated on the spine. We're going to go down, try to keep it centered. Then we'll break off whatever we can break off. We take about 1 inch or so off, and we'll just pluck out.
You could save that piece for sushi or soup stock.
That's actually what the spine looks like right there. You're going to take that all the way out to the end of the tail. The hardest part is trying to get the feel of feeling the spine inside the tube. When it's a fresh eel, you can feel the difference of the meat. It's a little firmer. And I just like to bend it a little bit. You should be able to break off the piece. So far we're getting lucky. We might hit the jackpot soon here.
Gano, who does an incredible job every year managing the food for our demo day. Well, I'm volunteering you every year. So he usually doesn't have his hand up first till I put it up, but he does a phenomenal job here. So here's Charlie. Charlie, tell us a little bit about your secret for phenomenal food service.
My wife, she does all the work. No buttons. All I can say is there's a lot of good food here. Thanks to all the volunteers, and everybody should come and eat.
You're not done yet, Al. We got you for a couple more minutes right here. Okay. So Al's a much better speaker than me and a lot better looking than me too. So I'm just going to hand the mic to Al and let him speak. Here you go, bud.
What am I doing?
Talk a little bit about your products, a little bit about what you're discussion was?
Well, actually, I'd like to talk about one of the best clubs in Connecticut, which is the Connecticut Surfcasting Club, and they put these events on, and it allows people like myself and other vendors to come down and do these things, and it's a magnificent way to get to the fishermen, to get to the people, and hats off to this club because they do an excellent job doing it. So, and it allows me to introduce new products, like I said, and the other vendors as well. You know, so. I'm just thrilled to be here, and I'm thrilled to be part of this club and organization.
Great. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alan. Thank you very much for being one of our biggest supporters for the last 25 years. 25 years, yeah. All right, thank you, Al.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, our next interviewee is going to be Jim Munson. Transplant for New Hampshire, but otherwise he's a great guy and a damn good plug maker too. He's got a much different style here. His plugs are hand carved, a lot of different styles that you don't see really anywhere. So if you'd like to explain a little bit about your plug building, what got you into that, a little bit about your plug designs, what's different about them, and why they work.
I was a contractor. And at one point I found myself changing careers, but I still had all the tools and materials. I figured I'd give a try at making some lure designs. In some instances I wasn't happy with what was out there, so I tried to design plugs that would do what I wanted them to do. One of the designs I'm really proud of is this mini darter. It only weighs an ounce, but because all the tail's in the ass, you get really good distance on the cast. A lot of people will tell you it's got a nice starter motion and a sweep and a current. It's not a rough water plug, but it's a great plug when you get a steady current, like a river sweep. Thank you, appreciate that. So I'm making plugs mostly out of lumber. Some of them are made out of PVC. What I like about the PVC is they won't ever waterlog. The paint or epoxy does chip off. The plug still works just fine.
Okay.
Now we're good.
Smile, Frank.
I'm Frank Gonzalez, surfcaster from Massachusetts. I'm going to be doing a seminar here today on moving water. Mostly smaller and bigger tides and just lateral moving water. Fishing it, how to fish it, maybe some overlooked things, and I hope it's pretty informative to everyone here.
Thank you.
You got it.
Toby Lipinski from the Fisherman Magazine here. I want to thank the Connecticut Surfcaster for having me at Demo Day this year. It's been a real good turnout, a lot of people coming out. A lot of interest, obviously, for the magazine, which is a good thing for me. A lot of interest for the club. Doing some subscriptions here, doing really well on that. And if you're interested too, we got in end of March, March 29, 30, 31. We got the fishing and hunting show up in Hartford. I'll be doing a couple of seminars there on surf fishing, so that's right in line with the Connecticut Surfcasters. So again, thank you very much for having me here today, and hope to see you again.
Okay. Hi, I'm Mike Mullen. I'm here at CSA Demo Day, and I'm showing high hook lures, and I'm demonstrating how I assemble plugs, and I've been doing that for a little while. And later on, I'm going to clear this out and bring in the lathe, and I'm going to do a demonstration on carving, and something we've been doing for since this started. I don't know, 8 years ago or whatever. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it, and looks like we have a really good turnout here today. Okay.
Hey, here we've got a couple Sound School students advertising for Sound School admissions candidates here. They're also big fishermen. I'll let them do the speaking. Say something about yourself.
Oh.
A little bit about your fishing career, about Sound School.
So my name is Sully Magnus. I've been at the Sound School this will be my third year. I'm a junior here, and I've been fishing my whole life pretty much. I've been competitively bass fishing for this will be my 7th year, and this is my partner Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben, and I also go to the Sound School. I'm also a junior. I've been fishing for quite a long time also. It's about my 2nd year doing competitive bass fishing, and I've been doing quite a lot of surf casting, and I started doing fly fishing from the shore for stripers too. So.
Winters. I live on Block Island. I met Dennis at Ballard's one night when we were scouting around for some fish and had to happen to not have a four-wheel drive at the time, and Dennis did. So we got together and went up to the north end to do some fishing and proceeded to cow out, to say the least.
At least one of us. At least one of us, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I remember that at that particular time was when bombers had just started to get popular.
Yeah.
And Tom Vanderhees and his father Jack was down there, and I was with Charlie Dodge probably a few nights before I met you that time. And we found out how good bombers were working on that beach.
Yeah.
And it was just about every cast, and if you overcast and threw your plug out 15 or 20 feet past the shore, you wouldn't get anything, but 5 feet from the beach, they were there, and they were there thick.
Dennis, what's your favorite memory of the blitz that you talked about?
The blitz with Steven? Well, it wasn't actually a blitz fishing, but I learned a lot of interesting lessons from Steve, because I was basically a neophyte on the island at that point, and I just needed another person to kind of point out some direction for me. And Steve told me, he says, I've got a four-wheel drive, I can take you where the fish are. You know, or you have a four-wheel drive, mine is broke, we'll drive your truck out. Of course, I was nervous wreck driving out. I had never driven on a sand beach before. And actually, we almost got stuck where that little crest goes. Yeah, we almost got stuck, and I was like, oh man, what am I going to tell my wife? I'm stuck. The water's going to come out. My car's going to go away. You know, that kind of thing. But he got me out there and got me back, and I learned a lot of good lessons from him.
And we bumped into each other many times after that.
Yeah.
I remember you giving me a nice fish one time at at the shit shoot, or actually the
Bass stand there. Yep.
And you couldn't revive it, and I was
couldn't revive it. I said I didn't want to waste it.
I was hungry for the $3.50 a pound, and I was happy to take it.
That's weird. So I said, what I'll do next morning, I says, I'll take it down to Max Sweeten's. I just need to weigh it in for club points. So I went down there, used the scale, weighed it in, and Matt goes, well, what are you going to do with that? I said, I'm leaving it here. He goes, what do you mean you're leaving it here? I says, Steve Winters is going to come by and take this fish. He promised me. He goes, all right, well, leave it right there. So I left it in the tub. Steve came by, picked it up, shipped it over, and I got my tub back. So I was happy.
Good old Max Swinton. We miss him.
Yeah, for sure.